fucking point that thing towards me.
Don't be shy, baby. We'll go slow first. Okay? We're gonna ease into this.
Be gentle. It's my first time. Daddy's here. It's okay.
I'll take care of you.
We're gonna set like a
Double fist in here. It's good.
Hey Siri, set an alarm for 12 o'clock. About 15 minutes back to the airport.
Set for 12 o'clock.
Perfect. All right, so we are MDP Sessions Down Under with our very own order member, Adam Lawrie. He is a Kiwi transplant to Australia.
I forget where you were.
Been all over this motherfucker. Dude, I've been up for fucking like 2 days now. I don't know where the fuck I am. We're at some shithole bar down in like the Marina District, I think, because I seen a bunch of shipping containers stacked a mile high down the road. And these guys have been showing me an awesome time. They got me for a couple hours, and here we are, just doing it. So he added a couple hours to it too. I missed a fucking flight, so motherfucker.
Look, I cannot be blamed for that.
Mm-hmm.
That is Nathan McDonald's fault. Had nothing to do with me.
That was a team effort. That was a team
It was a
effort.
team effort of fuckery.
Right?
This is we found such a nice establishment.
Yeah,
do
I'd love
this.
to come back. I mean, you can see over here we got Pinup Girls Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Good lunch special, $12, $16. Come on.
Yeah,
This
we are
is-
definitely in the trade district.
This
This is
is-
fucking marina.
This is pirate as it gets. I love it.
Yeah. I'm actually really surprised there's not a pirate flag up here.
Right?
Yeah, we do. We'll get one of those stickers from the car and we'll mark the
Yeah,
place before we
I've
leave.
got plenty. We should definitely tag it up.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, let's get into this. You are a bow hunter.
Yep.
You also participate in archery competitions. Train dogs.
Yep.
Still doing that. Repossessions,
Yes.
investigations,
Mhm.
security work,
Every so often. Yep.
all kinds of fun shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, tell us a little about yourself. I'd kind of give us a little brief synapse. Let's give us a rundown, brother.
I like long walks on the beach.
We can do that. We got time.
Do we?
Yeah, we can hold hands the whole night.
Pina coladas. Getting caught in the rain.
How many PPs have touched your mouth today?
4. 4.
It's like a standard answer for him.
Yeah, or 7 depending on what day of the week it is.
Sundays. Naked Sundays.
I'm a very simply complicated person. Especially professionally, I've kind of done anything that people would pay more to do.
Yeah.
You know, I guess most people are smarter to find something else to do. I just kind of fell into the stuff that no one else wanted to do. So it's worked well for me so far.
I love it.
Single full-time dad of 2 daughters, which is amazing. It's been a long road to get to that, but
Yeah, you went through some shit with that. I remember I talked to you a little back. I'm gonna make sure this thing's recording around. Keep going, keep going.
It's not been an easy road by any means, but I want it to sound like half a fucking commercial. But if I didn't have people that carried the same type of moral compass and values that I do, you know, especially Flash here in Australia and Macca and a few of the other guys and people I've reached out to in the States like yourself,
Tony Otison, and you had a good time with?
Tony,
Right?
Samantha Knight, I love that girl.
Larry. Yeah.
Larry.
Clean right on to chill, it sounds like.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
I kind of, you know, they seem like great people. So, and you know, once you've been talking to someone, even if it's via a keyboard for 2.5 years or coming up to 3 years, it's you've got a backbone, you've got a team behind you.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, just like, you know.
Fucking stupid.
No, yeah. I mean, it's the dumbest thing in the world, and it's the best thing in the world. I mean, really, you know. I mean, like, here we are. I didn't know you from Adam. This is the first day we met, right? We talked online, and that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, we share some mutual friends, and obviously share some mutual mindsets, some philosophies, life philosophies, and that's what really brings the order together. I mean, you guys didn't even know I was going to be here until what, a week out, 10 days out, some shit like that, and they went out of their way to come meet me at the airport and make me miss my flight.
What are you gonna blame the fat guy for? God damn.
Hey, if I'm gonna miss my flight, this is the way to fucking do it.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
I mean, come on.
You know, we've found such a landmark of the Australian pub community.
Yeah, so I landed in Brisbane. This is my first touchdown. I'm on my way to Cairns. That's going to be my next destination. Cairns. Sorry. I look at the spelling. I fuck it up every time. Yeah. Well, it's your weird accent.
Isn't Brisbane lovely this time of year?
I can tell. This place looks like it'd be good. Really good.
Yeah. I used to work here back in the day, and it can go off sometimes. That's for damn sure. Yeah, it's an interesting fucking place.
So you live about 40 minutes from here?
Yeah. So we're the bay side of Brisbane right now in Queensland. I live on the bush side of Logan, so yeah, about 40 minutes on the highway on acreage. So
if you're moving?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, except for this morning because you come in at an inconvenient time. It was an hour and 45 minutes in traffic.
Rush hour traffic.
Yeah.
Gotta love it.
Yep.
So what's Brisbane known for? I don't even know. So.
If you're from here,
This bar.
Yeah, this bar is the fucking landmark. Look, if you're from here and you kind of follow the local sporting leagues and stuff like that, it's known for the Brisbane Broncos, which is the rugby league club here. That's kind of the national sport of Australia. If you're from Queensland, if you're from down south, it's a bit different. They kind of play a really weird homosexual style of football. Flash knows all about it. He loves that shit.
Yeah, he's his favorite, like the Cockburners or some shit like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Victoria's stretched anus, I think is his flagship team.
I know no one I guess his team is the equivalent to the Raiders or some shit in the American
football,
football, right?
Without the dumb fucks that follow Raiders.
Yeah.
I follow American football pretty closely, so I used to play it here for the state team in Australia.
Yeah, I was noticing in the bar, I was like, there was like maybe one or two local hard liquors, and then everything is American. Jack Daniels, fucking Wild Turkey, Johnny Walker. I saw all the American labels up in there. I was like, wow, that's crazy. I mean, what do we bring to the country?
Alcohol and barbecue.
Yeah, right?
Look, we've got one kind of liquor brand from Queensland called Bundaberg rum. To anyone that actually drinks real rum, it is the most disgusting shit.
That's exactly
in the
where
fucking
I'm at.
world. It is fucking horrible.
Fucking Flash keeps trying to shove that shit down my throat. I'm like, if I need to start my lawnmower, I'm all over that shit. But other than that, it's straight gasoline, so watch out.
It's fucking horrible. It is horrible.
Lord.
There are far better rums out there. If I'm not drinking beer though, it's normally Jack Daniels or Kraken, something like that.
Kraken, oh my god.
Me
and Kraken are way too good friends. I had to leave hard liquor because I became a very different person. So. Not so nice. Not as nice as I usually am.
About half hour south of here, we've got a little artisan rum distillery. They make a really nice spiced rum, but you can only get it direct from them.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it is fucking amazing. Firm believer in supporting stuff that's local to you. So Beanley spiced rum, if you can get it anywhere, check it out because it is fucking unreal.
Now I'm on a mission. Great. I like to have one to get a scoopful every once in a while. Just one, and like back home we have a place called Malahats, and that Malahats was a Canadian. It was a steam/sailboat that used to smuggle rum down from Canada during Prohibition, when we had Prohibition, right? And so they named their distillery after it, and they've actually won awards all over the world. And I'm just fortunate enough to have it right there in San Diego. It's a really small joint. They're actually doing gin and all kinds of other shit now. But goddamn, the rum is just on point. Not cheap, but anything good, that's how it works, right?
I'll tell you what, we can make that happen. What I'll do is I'll get a bottle from the Beanley Rum Distillery and send it down to Flash. So you'll have it by the time you get down there.
That would be amazing.
That'd be cool.
That would be amazing.
Yep. And it'll be the real spiced pirate rum that they make.
Oh.
Fucking gorgeous. Like even the molasses they get is made at the factory that's next door.
Oh, you're speaking my language.
That's how fucking, and the water they get to make it comes out of the river where the property is.
Oh, that's the way it should be.
It's fucking unreal.
We went, when I was in Finland a couple years ago, we went to this place called Kiro, and they're known, Kyro, and they're known like around the world, I guess, for their rye whiskey. And I will drink certain rye whiskeys. So we went to the distillery, did the whole tour, and it was the same deal. They had a river running out back. That's where the water came from. All the shit was grown right there. And I love that. That's the way things should be. You know, I mean, sometimes shit becomes too industrialized is the best way I can put it. It gets too big and it just goes south. At least it seems that way to me with some certain things. When they stop doing that homegrown process, you can taste it. And I mean, whether it be food, booze, you name it, right?
Yeah. That's one of the main reasons I got into bow hunting. One, I love shooting bows. We've got some, I love shooting full stop. We've got some really weird gun laws here. But bow hunting is hard. It's meant to be hard. But I want to know where my food comes from.
Yeah. You want to have that skill, right?
Absolutely. Zombie apocalypse come at me. I can't fucking wait.
I'm very proficient with my firearms, but honestly, there's just something zen about shooting your bow, right? I mean, you crack a beer or pour a little snoot, and you just sit out there and marinate with that shit. I think you don't have that bang factor, which a lot of people like, and that's fine for a certain time. But with a bow, it's silent and deadly, which is like your best parts, right?
I think I don't want to get full hippie about it or anything like that, but I think if you harvest an animal with a bow, it connects you to that animal. There's a certain amount of respect there. It needs to be hard. It needs to be difficult.
Yeah.
Because taking a life, whether it be animal, human, or whatever, it shouldn't be easy.
Yeah. Even just like I said earlier, spread of broccoli might have all the knowledge of the universe just because it can't talk to you. I eat a ton of vegetables. I have so much respect for all life, and I mean to say that one's more important than the other. Life eats life. That's the deal.
Yeah.
You have no choice in that, right? You want to stay alive, you got to eat some form of life.
Look, that's my main problem with vegans. Yeah. They are eating my food's food. I don't like that.
Trying to fat these things up.
Right? It's interesting, man. I mean, especially back to the bow hunting thing. When you're at full draw, you can't think of anything else.
Yeah.
You can't think of bullshit bills. You can't think of someone that offended you a day early. You can't think of anything else.
You have to live in the present,
right?
And that's what the MDP is all about.
Yeah.
Right? Really, something I finally just recently figured out how to put it into words. But from a very young age, we're expected to basically tell the future, right? That's the way. People ask 6-year-olds, what do you want to be when you grow up and shit like that, and girls get this whole thing where they're a princess driven into their head and there's going to be a prince, and they start building this thing in their head of how their life has to go, and guys do the same thing with a career, and girls can do the same thing. I mean, I'm just, analogies all across the board.
Yeah.
And it takes you away from being in the present, and that's the worst thing in the world, because this is what matters, right here, right now, being able to share these beers and have this talk. This means the world to me. Yeah. I mean, really. I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow, and I don't give a fuck.
I'm not missing any flights, apparently.
Cheers. Hopefully.
Look, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean,
we got an hour and a half to get to the airport-ish.
Yeah. Well, luckily it's only a 2-hour flight, so I'm like, I can get changed. Fuck it.
It'll make the flight easier.
Yeah.
I don't have a boss to answer to, so fuck it, let's get drunk.
I like it. So you've lived all over Australia.
Yep.
Toured all over Australia. Check it all out. You told me you've had some epic road trips. 4.5 hours you pick up KFC.
Oh yeah. There's nothing else to do in Northern Territory regional towns, man, on a Monday night. So.
Is the geography, topography, does it vary drastically throughout the country?
Yeah. It's so drastically diverse from area to area.
Okay.
I mean, you can go from when someone thinks of a desert, you see rolling sand dunes in the middle of nowhere, it's hot as fuck. We have that here. You think of rainforests and there's vines and snakes and wet weather. We have that here. Regional beach towns that's nothing but a surf lifesaving club and a wave setup or a surf shop. We have that. From one side of the country to the other, it's so different. I was really lucky from the time, I came of age as a legal adult. I don't still feel like I am one.
Yeah,
but
who wants to grow up?
From the time you can get arrested as an adult, I jumped in a car or jumped on a plane and went travelling. So, everywhere from Western Australia, Northern Territory, Sydney, Melbourne. I love Melbourne. I lived there for 2.5 years. All up through northern Queensland to where we are now. every place is so different, and it's so amazing to get. You know, the Australian culture is very much of a hard-working, drinking, redneck type thing. But you go to every different capital city, and the people are so different. Yeah, it's such an amazing place. I mean, I came here when I was 3 from New Zealand, and have never left. I wanted to see what Australia had first before I thought about going anywhere else. I've had some of the most amazing experience with like natural wonders and watering holes in the middle of Northern Territory where it'd be 20 meters deep and you can see the bottom.
Wow.
It's fucking breathtaking.
Untouched,
It's breathtaking.
I bet.
You know?
I bet.
But then, you know, you get into some of these major capital cities and you just kind of look up and go, holy shit, how the fuck did we as a species build something like this?
Yeah, it's something I think about all the time. It's so diverse, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, it seems like we're trying to remove ourselves from nature. And that's why, like, a lot of cities, you might see some really cool architecture in different cities, and like different cities are known for their architecture, like the Opera House, all that shit, right? You know, but in the end, it's just, I don't know, for me, I thrive on seeing natural beauty. That's just, that, you know, and being in that. Is there a particular spot here in Australia that just really fires off for you in that, or?
One place I would absolutely always go back to if I had the chance is Catherine Gorge, Northern Territory.
Okay.
You have to go on a bit of a trek to get there, but once it opens up into the gorge, there's nothing but clear water and rock faces.
Okay.
It is untouched.
All right.
It is absolutely.
And what's that like in regards to a major city, so people know where to look? Where would that be? Was that like Darwin?
Yeah. So you go from Darwin, and then basically it's a 3.5-hour travel south to the major town, which is called Catherine. Then it's another maybe 20 minutes, half hour outside of that town. So, I mean, there's signs and stuff. It can get touristy depending on the time of year. But then the other 6 months of the year, the other 7 months of the year, you can't access it.
Oh, wow.
You're right in the middle of the wet season. So everything's flooded. You know, it goes like this. Like this. I mean, thank God it started raining. We needed it.
Yeah, with the fires and shit.
Oh,
yeah.
man, we needed it big time. Here in Queensland, we didn't cop it as hard as New South Wales or Victoria or Western Australia, but it come close a couple of times, you know. Your arsehole starts puckering, you go, I've got to think of the plan here. Now we have to think about flooding. So, you know, I'm on a 10-acre property and that kind of area floods really easily.
Every other car here has a snorkel on, right?
Oh yeah, full drop.
So yeah, you're crossing some shit. I mean, it's it's real. You know, if you get out of the city, you gotta be ready to deal with some shit. You gotta be a self-reliant individual, right? And that goes right back to our pirate's life, right? As I said before, I think the biggest key to this whole thing is like, this is a bunch of individuals who realize and love and adore their opportunity to be and exist as an individual, but also understand the strength in being part of something bigger than themselves and being part of a bigger team and network. Like you alluded to, you know, when you were going through your shit, your custody battle, right? You know, I mean, you had pirates to reach out to across the world.
Yeah.
And speak on that a little for me, because you know that really touched me when you shared that with me, and that meant a lot. And I think other people need to hear that. So.
Total's going to go to 5 dicks touching my lips. We've got a personal best. We've got to beat it.
Well, we're here to set new standards.
No matter if they're low or high.
Just new standards.
Yeah. Look, naturally, we were talking about it earlier when we were with Macca. Fucking arsehole, made you late for your flight.
Fucking prick.
It was, you know, I'm normally naturally a very introverted person. I don't kind of want to give people free information. You know, it's kind of been a conditioned response. If people have too much information, they'll use it to hurt you.
Yeah. I can understand it.
When I joined MDP, I was very much still in that mindset. But, you know, when you've got, it feels like your world is crumbling around you, you look for people who are not so close in your inner circle, but connected by something. And that could be fucking anything. It could be a sporting team, could be anything. What we have is a culture of, one, let's go fuck shit up, you know, let's go have fun, but also no one will ever look down on you, and if they do, it's to pick you back up. That is such a strong, amazing thing.
We will say we're each other's big brothers, for lack of a better term, right? I mean, we will say the most horrendous shit to each other in the world. I don't mean big brother as in like a government thing. It's just like accountability, right? You know, like we hold each other to a higher standard, and I expect that, and I love that. But we're also very understanding about where everybody's at in their life at that point in time. You know?
Yeah. And one thing I think we're very good at is people will fuck up. People will make mistakes. It's how you deal with the mistake after that and how you conduct yourself. So we have that accountability thing in place. You know, you've got not so much people to answer to, but you've got people to say, hey, you are fucking up. You are doing something wrong right now. You need to fix that.
Helping you with your perspective, right?
Absolutely. You know, and it can come from the weirdest places. When I was going through the darkest fucking ridiculous times of, you know, you're home by yourself, you've got all these things you need to worry about, you've got a million other things on your mind, and you just think, what's the fucking point? Like, why continue? I'm not going to get anywhere, I'm not going to win. And then you get a random inbox from someone you've never fucking met, who's a part of the same association that you is, and it's, hey man, how you doing? What the fuck?
Like it was meant to be, right?
Like it was meant to be. One of the darkest nights I ever had, I got an inbox from, and I don't even think he knows this. I've never met the guy. I've never actually had a Facebook conversation with him, which was DJ on Fox.
All right.
It was a dark fucking day.
The turtle.
I met a guy. I like the flip flops up.
Oh yeah. He's a turtle. Fucking turtle.
And again, never addressed this, never brought it up with him, but got an inbox from him one night, and it was a dark fucking night, and that just goes, it all changes. You know, you are never alone, and it's a wonderful fucking thing.
That's amazing. I absolutely love hearing that. DJ is a great guy. I mean, you know, we built our friendship. You know, a lot of us are paintball players. You're a paintball player. I'm a paintball player. A vast majority of our order members are paintball players. We have slowly leaked out to the rest of the world, and, you know, and actually
infected.
Yeah, right. I mean, well, I could go on a whole other talk on that. Get your shots.
Herpes will follow you now. That shit doesn't go.
No, just the idea it is infectious. Our mentality, and you know, because it's that living in the present, being there for each other. At least that's what it is for me. And the cool thing is, this thing has become so much more to so many other people in so many different directions that I don't even know about. Like I wouldn't know this stuff if I hadn't sat down and talked to you about it, right? Would have never even known it would have gone on. But it's the kind of things that I wanted out of this, and that's what we're getting. And that mission accomplished, right? You know, I mean, when we started this, the original guys, we all sat down and talked, like, we can help one other person as much as this has helped us. Our little pirate community that we have, the original guys, is just, you know, randomly started calling ourselves pirates. There you go, right? You know, here it is, you know, and it's working, and that means everything. That means everything. You know?
Well, man, you know, I don't fucking care if we're live or anything right now. That's a testament to an idea that you guys had and developed it into something that has no shadow of a doubt in my mind saved people.
Yeah.
From themselves most of the time, but
our worst enemy.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it is. You know, I mean, it's like, people come from all kinds of different walks of life. We don't care where you come from, how you got to this point where you need some kind of moral compass that, you know, doesn't get lost in the details and just wants to live a good life and help people out. I think that's very pirate. You know, pirates, think about what they really were. So most of them were either slaves or sailors that were, for lack of a better term, indentured, like shanghaied, or like had no other choice. They went out on the ship and they're serving some king or some bullshit country or something, and they're out in the middle of nowhere. That country doesn't give a fuck if they're gonna live or die. But you know who did is the guy right next to them. You know, and that's where we come from. You know, we're clinging to that mentality, not the cutthroat, do bad bullshit, but the actual, hey, we're all out there in this existence, trying to figure out what the fuck's going on, and you need like-minded people that are there for you. Another thing that runs in this is the socially selected, right? Like you said, you wouldn't normally open yourself up to people, but then through this, you've been able to find there are people all over the world that are very much the same way.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. There's a saying, I saved the fucking meme on my phone. It's no one wants a harmless person. That's not a good man. A good man is someone who's capable of evil but holds it at bay.
Yeah.
There's so many of us like that in this fucking organization. It's ridiculous.
100%.
Every human is capable of devastation. Is capable of evil. We know that. I've come to terms with it. And if that mindset or that side of us is ever called on, we are more than capable of doing it, but have a higher reason or a different perspective to hold that at bay and do what we think is right. It's an amazing thing.
You can choose to be I hate to oversimplify life, but you can choose to be a positive, a negative, or a neutral in life, right? And that's really what it comes down to. And no matter how hard things get, at least be a neutral. When you can be a positive, but to become a negative in somebody else's environment or somebody else's life, it doesn't do any good. Get away from that shit, because it's not doing you any good.
There could be a definite reason why some of us, most of us in the order were drawn to paintball. You have an opportunity to be ruthless. You have that opportunity to let the demons out, And as I was saying, just like at full draw, you can't think of anything else. When that countdown happens from 10 through to 1 and then that buzzer goes off, you can't think of anything else. It's an opportunity to quiet your mind and then let out that primal...
You have to be there.
Killer instinct.
Well, that goes back, I'm sure I've said this in previous talks and stuff, but...
I've never watched one.
I'll say this over and over again, is, the reason we've gotten this far as a species is because we are the apex predator on this planet. We can fuck everything else up. So much so that we don't even care about fucking everything else up more than we do fucking each other up, right? Yeah. There's nothing better than hunting another human. And that's what paintball provides, right? And you can go buy the fucker a beer after you're done doing it, opposed to, real war where that's bad news, right? That ends some fucking existences, and that's not the goal here. This is for everybody to get to experience this and learn from it,
Unfortunately, I'm not in the position where I can play competitive paintball anymore. Kids and
Really?
You can't train, and life gets in the way. I still compete in martial arts tournaments and fighting tournaments, and that gives me the same thing.
I didn't know you were even into martial arts. What do you, particular practice or discipline? Or?
Traditional karate, but I compete in all styles national tournaments.
Nice.
So I made the state team last year. Didn't have the opportunity to compete in the nationals. With life getting in the way, but it gives you that same outlet for evil, basically. Everyone's got that side of them. You need to find a productive outlet.
I actually consider paintball a martial art. I know there's no contact, but
it's
that's
definitely a combat art.
Yeah,
sure.
You depending on how far you take it, it definitely is a discipline. You really got to work on yourself to get super good at this game. The level that I've played at and against, it's a whole other thing. It's not the weekend go out and have fun bullshit, and I love that. That's actually the only part I want anymore. I've played at that too, because there's a lot of stress in that. But that stress, if you learn how to cope with it and you get comfortable with it, makes you so much stronger.
And even dealing with those type of situations or that same mindset in everyday life, when you're under that stress and pressure, you know how to deal with it.
That's it.
It teaches you things you never knew about yourself, and you can get that from bow hunting, paintball, to even what I do now in my professional life. You deal with those situations so much differently and more productively because you've been through it before in a setting where you can't get hurt. There's no real world ramifications.
That's it.
But you've still taken something away from it.
And you build bonds with people in paintball, unlike others. And I think it's actually because, this is me theorizing and speaking my mind out loud, but back to that apex predator thing, and when you're in what we're going to call a war situation, which is paintball, whether you're playing, it's tag, yes, but your subconscious doesn't know that it isn't real, right?
No,
I mean, you know in your conscious mind that this is fun, we're having a good time, but in your subconscious, you're scared to death. Everybody's dying, everybody's getting shot at, right? You know, and you build those situations are what build those bonds with that guy next to you, right? Or that girl next to you, that individual next to you. You build unique and incredible bonds with people because of that. I think, you know, that's what I've gotten out of this whole thing. You know, I mean, I have very few friends still, lifetime friends outside of paintball. As weird as that sounds, maybe, I don't know. You know, I mean, people I love to death, but it just, once you shared those kind of experiences, and I'm not trying to compare it to like going to actual war.
No.
That's a horrendous fucking thing that I don't wish on anybody. But you can definitely appreciate it through what we do.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, in my limited number of years compared to your paintball career, I've made some of the best friends that I would keep for life. You know, and one of, you know, a guy I lean on very regularly for stupid shit. You know, Flash. I don't want to stroke his old peen there, but
yeah, well, someone's got to do it.
Yeah, well, I've lent on that guy when I have done stupid shit. I mean, we have a crew here in Australia that's spanned out across the whole country. Flash is the president. I'm the sergeant of it. But it gives me someone outside of my core family unit that I am accountable to. And it keeps you from doing dumb shit, you know. And if you do it, you own up to it. You know, there's been times where I've inboxed that fucking goon of, dude, I fucked up today. This is what I did. You know, and it's always met with, well, yeah, you fucked up, but now you got to fix it. You know?
Plain and simple, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's keep it real.
Yeah.
That's the main thing about this whole thing, is we keep it real with each other. You know, as loving and caring as we are, like I said, it's kind of the big brother thing, because I'll tell you you're an idiot. I'll tell you you're a motherfucker. It's all out of love. You know, I'm not like, oh, I'm better than you, because I'm the biggest dummy out of all this shit. Serious. You know, I agree. I've fucked up so many goddamn times in my life, but you know, if I got anything right, this might have been it. You know, if I got anything right, it might have been the MDP. You know, and really it wasn't me. It was the collaboration and the feeling, the vibe that we carried through. And it's just getting people to understand that. You know, don't get lost in the details. The devil's in the fucking details.
Yeah.
You choose to be a positive, a negative, or a neutral. At least that's the way I see it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
look, it came along at the perfect time, and I said this before, but you have to kind of put yourself in a box as a person. There needs to be a category what you fit into.
Mm-hmm.
When I was going through all that, I didn't feel like I fit into anything anymore. You know, there was nothing that and I don't, it's the term's so widely used these days, but I didn't have anything that I could identify. I couldn't put myself into a category. You know, before everything happened, I put myself into a category of, you know, I'm an emergency response officer, I'm a dog handler. That is the category I fit into. I'm that, and a father, and a bunch of other things. When all that is stripped away from you, what are you left with? Nothing. And it's such a empty and scary feeling that people don't know how to deal with. This gave me something to identify as. You know, absolutely. As a modern day fucking pirate. And we were talking about it in the truck, that term pirate has such negative names that.
That's the idea.
You know, a modern day pirate is someone who, you know, and we say it's written across fucking everything. Adventure, community, mentorship, self-improvement. I fucked all those up in a different order.
That doesn't matter. We're using sounds to express our emotions and our thoughts, right? And the only thing you left out is charity, I think. So, self-improvement, charity. Yeah. We're there. We're all good.
It gives you a target. It gives you something to aspire to.
Should have plugged down a coin a minute and bust out the oath, huh?
Mine's in the truck, and I was going to do it to you over coffee, but then if I had done it to Macra, he would have failed.
Oh yeah, well, I would have loved to watch that. Yeah. I would have loved to have the camera running for that shit, right?
That's been one of the great things about drinking with Tony and hanging out with Tony Otis, and shout out to you. You better get back to this country fucking shortly, dude. We got work to do. But you know, whenever we would be together, someone would throw it down. You know, and regardless of the outcome, we were drinking anyway.
Yeah,
so.
that's it. That's the, you know, there is no stress with this.
Yeah.
That's the main thing I want people to understand is, like, you know, a lot of other organizations like try and put stress on you, like, That's not the goal here. This is all 100% selective. Your level of participation is 100% up to you.
Yep.
You can sign up and never meet a single person. You can sign up and spend your life traveling the world, meeting every fucking pirate we have, right? Completely up to you and somewhere in between. That's where most of us are going to fall, right? Just like life. You know, you could be the biggest dick, you could be the smallest dick. 99.9% of us all fall somewhere in the middle of that shit, right? That's really...
It's massive.
No, it's
fucking
fucking
ridiculous.
for you. I'm sure the kangaroos are very happy.
Straight to the pouch. Just back on the challenge coin, now that I've got a kind of platform that's going out to most of us. Dana, thank you so much for that. I've never met you in person. Decided to send me a coin.
He's a horrible person.
I'm sure he's a giant.
I hate that guy.
What's that term we use here in Australia? He's a cunt.
Oh,
Giant cunt.
Huge cunt. Huge fucking cunt.
You know, and that's kind of what we deal with. You know, people we've never met in person. At a drop of a hat, you come pick an asshole up from an airport and he sits there and smokes a $30 packet of cigarettes.
Yeah, right.
But, you know, that physical meeting of people, you know, it's an amazing thing and it's great. And this is fucking unreal. Something I thought would never happen. But we don't need that.
Yeah.
You know, that is purely a benefit. Where guys you talk to on a digital platform can be your biggest advocates and your biggest people that'll chip you back in the line when you fuck up. It's a wonderful thing, man. And if the outset or the main goal when you first started it, when you guys all first started it, was to help one person, guarantee you fucking done that.
That was it.
You know?
We said if we help one person with this, we've done our job. Right?
Job done, man.
And it's only going to go from here, right? I mean, you know, the big goal with this whole thing is for it to outlive all of us. You know, we want this to propagate, and even if it's just the philosophy that exists, regardless of the actual organized order and everything, if people can cling to the philosophy and get rid of all the bullshit and just treat each other right and understand that no one chose to be in this existence, but now we get to experience it, and we're incredibly fortunate for that. Take advantage of it, right? You know, the good and the bad. I mean, you got to feel it all to know you're alive, really. You know, you got to go through some shit to really appreciate, I think, you know.
Yeah. I mean, one of the coolest ones of the Down to Hatches that I watched was the bucket list one. I love that episode. I don't get to watch too many of them. I mean, here when you guys do it, it's like 10 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. I got shit to do, man.
Yeah.
But you know, I went back and watched that one. And I don't know what drove me to do it, but it actually made me create a bucket list. What do I want to do before my time's over?
That's awesome.
I sent that list to a fucking pirate. We were talking about it off camera, and he goes, "Yeah, I got that covered."
That's awesome.
Like, holy shit, man. You know, these are the things that outside of your everyday bullshit that you want to achieve or you want to experience before the day that you are buried and gone. And to have someone turn around and go, "I got you." What the fuck?
MDP as fuck.
Yup.
Shout out to Larry.
MDP as fuck.
Over there in Georgia.
Yeah, it was, man, 11 months. 11 months it is going down.
Yeah.
But apparently that's not crawfish season, so I'm a bit pissed off.
Well, they can still find them.
Oh, cool.
I'm sure they can still find them.
Yep.
May not be dredging them straight up out of the river, but you'll find them.
I don't give a fuck if they've been frozen for 6 months, man. I'm eating them if they're boiled and red. I don't give a fuck.
Yep, burn them down.
Yep.
They go quick.
Yep.
Start sucking the souls out of them.
Yep. So that's the plan to any pirates watching. Is it's December, so probably most of December up until a couple of days after New Year's. I've had a fascination with the South. I want to go there so fucking much. But then we'll probably be ending the trip up near San Diego, up near you guys. So, yeah.
We're going to make it worth your while. 5 years ago, would you have thought you would have been doing this?
Not a fucking chance.
Right?
Not a chance. You know, and there's still a lot of moving parts that's going to make that happen. Hopefully they all fall into place, and I think they will. But it's going to be a trip of a lifetime, man. I honestly can't fucking wait. You know?
All right, we're going to take 5 and reload on our beers.
You're out of beer.
We need more fuel for the fire, so we'll be right back. That's it. That's it. All right. Round 2.5 or some shit. Okay, cheers. 7.
Are you gonna smoke that? Or you want me to put it out?
Yeah, I killed that one. I'm not gonna smoke the filter. You know? So we're back.
Oh, shit.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers. Cheers. Cheers, cunt.
Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers, Cat.
Oh, I gotta collect change. Or fucking load flash up with change. Apparently he hates that shit, so.
Perfect. Go to his paintball store and buy one barrel blocker and just pay in dollar coins.
Right? Oh, okay. So where were we? We're talking shit. Let's keep that going.
Yeah.
Oh, let's dig into your profession. You have a unique line of work, so
Yes,
tell us about that.
So I'm not entirely sure what it would be called in the States, like a repo agent or a repossession, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Here in Queensland, we call them field agent. So anything from private investigation, debt recovery, repossession, process serving, stuff like that. That's kind of covered under the one license here. So yeah, that's what I do.
Wow,
so,
that's cool.
Yeah.
You'd have to have like 5 different licenses in the States for that shit.
So. Yeah, just one here, thank fuck. But it's good.
Well, if you were going to bother getting licensed, a lot of people in the States just do that shit, right?
Just rock up with tattooed and sleeved and tell them what's going to happen. I
Yeah.
kind of do the same thing here, but with legal backing, so that's great.
Right.
So I ended up creating my own firm here, which is great. It's in the infant stages at the moment. There's kind of only 2 of us, myself and my best mate, that kind of handle stuff. But yeah, it's busy and it's growing really rapidly.
Good.
Yeah, kinda. Look, after I went through the custody battle and all that type of stuff, I couldn't go back to what I did for so many years. You know, I was dogging. I was an emergency response officer for the Queensland government here. So it was me and my dog in the truck. It was simple. I knew what I had to do. I knew I could handle every kind of aspect of what was going to happen. You know, and most things, or the horror stories you hear, they did happen, like a lot.
Yeah.
But you're comfortable in the chaos.
Yeah.
So having to change professions, or in my case, going back to a profession that I used to do when I was a hell of a lot younger, it took a lot of adjusting and a lot of mindset to kind of find your feet again. But I did it quite quickly, you know, under pressure, even cold, would create diamonds, and that's what's kind of happened. So.
Just like you said, right?
Amazing.
Yeah, just like paintball, just
Yeah.
like anything else. You create that stress, you get comfortable with it, and you learn how to work in the flow. Right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, it's a wonderful thing. So its tracking is going to be something that, you know, I'll do until the day I stop working, and it'll bear fruit. So thank God for that.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you kind of go through
And you
those
enjoy
stresses.
it, right? That's
Dude, I love it. That's the best job in the world.
that's
for me.
clutch, right?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, not everybody gets to do what they enjoy,
Yep.
and not everybody's made for what you do. You know, I mean, that's why there's so many different angles and so many different directions people can come from. It's awesome.
It is.
Some of the local wildlife passing through. So, do you have a story that sticks out from your adventures with this whole endeavor?
Yeah.
All right.
Fucking A.
All right.
I rocked up to an address, and I can't give any particulars. It's still an ongoing police investigation and court system and stuff. But rocked up to something where I became very complacent. I thought it was going to be easy. It was going to be, you know, it was processing court documents and someone. When I knocked on the door, it was like 7:30 at night. I knew the people were home, which is great. I had done surveillance on that address before. And all of a sudden the doors open. It was the defendant I was trying to chase. It was his father. Came out, 40 centimeter chef's knife, straight to the chest.
Oh, really?
And there's that, you know, that holy shit moment where you go, oh fuck. You know, not completely my fault, but I should have approached that situation differently. I should have approached the door differently. I should have been prepared for what could have happened, and just wasn't. So it ended up going in my favour, thank God. I'm pretty sure that guy is still feeling me, but it was one of those moments where you have to reevaluate everything in a split second of, holy shit, what's going to happen now? If he puts that in me, that's it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm the only parent my kids have. So you have to readjust, you know, after that situation's over and the adrenaline stops, you think of, okay, what happens if that goes down again? You know, so you go buy a bunch of extra equipment, you get vests, you get stab-proof equipment, all that type of stuff. If we're serving documents or chasing debts at night time, we never do it alone. There's two of us, always. Because you just never fucking know, man. You know? So that was a really recent holy shit moment.
I bet.
Yeah.
No matter how much you prepare, once you're there, you know, it's just like Mike Tyson said, you know, everybody's got a game plan until they get punched in the face, right? You know?
Everyone's got a game plan until they cop a knife to the chest,
right? Yeah. You know, and then you know where you're really at, and you're like, oh wow, okay, so can I figure this out now?
Yeah. Right? And you kind of, thank fuck I've got the background that I have, especially in, you know, private emergency services and stuff like that, because it makes you comfortable in that moment, but there's still that split second of run, dickhead.
Yeah. Fight or flight, right?
Yeah, I fought my fucking ass off, but you know, it's one of those situations I never want to be in again.
Having the martial arts background probably was helpful in that, right?
Yeah, and a big fucking metal stick.
There you go, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
Thank fuck I remember to take that off before we went to the airport.
You carrying a collapsible baton or something like that? Okay.
Yeah. So I've always got one in the truck as a spare, and then I've always got one on my hip.
Okay.
And I carry batons, handcuffs, stuff like that.
So is that something anybody can carry here, or you got to be licensed for that?
No, you have to. What it says in the Weapons Act here is because it's a restricted item.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have a lawful and legal reason to carry and appropriate training. I'm an ASP instructor, so I was given that certification from the guys in the States. So that covers my appropriate training, and legal and lawful, I'm the managing director of my company. I've given myself that permission, so you know, very lucky in that respect.
Do you carry some form? I don't know how shit works here. Like in the U.S., you would carry some kind of liability insurance for yourself. So once you did bust somebody up, it was the insurance company's problem. You have that same kind of situation.
Absolutely.
Right, cool.
Yeah, that's the most overhead of my company at the moment. Insurances. You know,
it's a motherfucker, right?
Yeah, I work out of a friend's office who runs a completely separate business, which is nice and central to everything. So I don't have any overheads in that respect. But yeah, insurances and licensing is the biggest one.
Let's talk about the ASP. Do you like the flexi one, or do you like the solid one? Where are you at on that one?
I carry an ultralight solid,
Okay.
so it's light on my hip. You know, it's much like a you know, I've got friends in police and military and have done, and a lot of family members. It's that old cliche of once it's there, you never know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you just forget it's there.
You get used to it.
Yep. So if I'm leaving the house for daytime, you got your phone, your wallet, your keys, your belt. It's always there. So yeah, I mean, I've got two of them. So one's a 31-inch ASP with a leverage cap on the end, and then the one that I carry on me all the time is a little 16-inch ultralight, which has enough reach and enough damage to do some serious shit if I need it to.
Yeah. I mean, at least you got something. You know, I mean, like at least in the States as a repo man, normally you're not going to be allowed to carry anything at all. But you also, like I said, you're a field agent. You get to work multiple directions, which I think helps with that, you know, and I think that's the way it should be. I mean, I really like that. I like the way they bundle that. Those are all things that they work very well together.
Yeah, it's like-minded industries. One thing, you know, the guys in the States and everything to do this type of job, they could wear a bulletproof vest without any type of licensing. Mm-hmm. We have to have a weapons license here in Australia to wear a bulletproof vest.
Yeah. Well, it depends. So it depends on the class of bulletproof vest, and it depends on the state. Like in California, I'm not allowed to legally carry an ASP. I can own it as part of a collection that just is in my house. It looks cool. Same thing with a body armor. I can own a vest, can't actually wear it. I live in California, right? So like,
isn't it full of hippies and vegans?
Well, I'm not a vegan, but I'm definitely a hippie. but I'm a hippie that if you fuck with me, I'm definitely gonna fuck you up. I'm a peace-loving motherfucker. Like, please don't mess with that. Please don't mess with that.
Man capable of evil that holds it back.
Yeah, capable of violence for sure. You know, last thing I want. Last thing anybody really wants. You know, I would think. And it's the ones who do want it. There might be something underlying there. You know, I at one point in time in my life, I believe there was no bad people, it was just bad circumstances. Now, I do believe there was bad people, and it sucks to have to believe that. Maybe I was naive, I don't know. But you have to be aware of that kind of shit. And especially in your line of work, your profession, you have to always be aware of that, right? So you never know who you're dealing with, no matter how nice they are.
No matter the circumstances, you never know who's inside that property when you're not.
The sob story you're getting, you know, right?
I mean, those type of situations or that type of industry makes the mundane activities exciting. You know, going to print out paperwork, and reluctantly have, on occasions have taken the kids in the car when I've got to go do a job. There's no other fucking option.
Yeah.
I never know what's going to go on. You could look at a summons or a paperwork or, any type of thing that you've got to do and think, yeah, that's going to be easy. You get there, it's not. I love it. It's fucking exciting. So
yeah, that every day is an adventure for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the spice of life. That's what I look for in everything I do. Is even something as mundane as I do a bunch of gardening at home, but the circumstances change all the time, and I'd rather be a warrior in the garden than a gardener in a war. Yeah, right.
It's yeah, I mean, you can find adventure and excitement in anything, or you can at least find fulfillment in anything, So as long as I've got the odd occasion where I can, morning. Sí, señor. As long as I can find that odd occasion where I can unleash and unravel and drink and carry on and be that 19-year-old inner fucking stupid person again.
Decompress a little.
Yeah. Where, that's why I built a bar in my house. You go out in public like we are now, I mean, it doesn't count because it's 11 o'clock in the fucking morning. We're in a shithole, but...
Perfect.
I can go into
this
my bar.
This is Florida for me.
I can go to my bar in my property and have 30 fucking people there and be completely comfortable.
Yeah.
If you do that in public, there's always that certain aspect of facade and protection that you put on yourself. So,
yeah, I mean, we have an unspoken agreement when you're out in society, right? Like, I'm gonna be cool to you, you're gonna be cool to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you hope everybody's gonna adhere to that. You don't know, and you especially see that because you find people in their extremes. They're dealing with bad shit, which puts people in a bad mindset, right? And a lot of people don't know how to grasp that or deal with that or handle that, and you seem to do that well.
I'm comfortable with it. Yeah. There's the old saying that no one is more dangerous when they think they have nothing to lose.
That's it.
You just need to remind them they've got something to lose.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it could always get worse.
Yeah. And you get I've had debt recovery agents and process servers and private investigators and stuff like that after me. Yeah. I know what that feels like. Yeah. So I can go into a situation and know what that person's thinking or know how they're feeling at least. And not be a dick about it. It's the same with police officers here in Australia and I'm guessing in the States too. You make that situation 90% of the time is how you react.
Yeah.
If you walk into that situation and you're being a up and mighty shit don't stink dick, it's going to turn bad on you.
You come in cock strong, you're going to get that back, right?
You've got no one else to blame but your goddamn self,
right?
So
a lot of these situations, people reflect what they're getting.
Yep.
So if you're cool with them, they'll be cool with you. I've done a little bit of what he's talking about, and I understand it. That's why I can speak on it. Mm-hmm. But not at the level and not at the consistency that you're doing it. It's your career now. Like I did it because I didn't. They're like, hey, let's go do this. I'm like, all right, cool.
Something cool to do at the time,
it's fun. Yeah. Ooh, fuck, that was scary.
Goddamn.
I'm more than happy to admit that I get scared. More than happy.
Oh, look at it, and I'm not saying that I go into situations and don't get scared. Mm-hmm. It's how you deal with it, though. Back to the paintball thing. Nothing exists, or back to archery. Nothing exists in full draw.
Yeah.
That 5 seconds before you knock on that door.
Be present, know how to make the right decisions, right?
You ain't thinking about nothing else. Mm-hmm. And it's a wonderful fucking thing, Unfortunately, I'm that type of person that'll sit there and analyze things or situations when it could be in everyday life. You sit there and second guess yourself. If you can find those moments where you can't do that, that's removed from your toy box or your toolbox, it's an amazing thing. Same thing. So,
all right. So I want to close with your thoughts on our organization, and you can be frank.
You're all fuckwits.
There you go. We're done.
It's a pack of cunts. Those.
All the way across.
Look, in our, and we can be a member that's just come out of being probationary. You can be one of the founding members. I think there's such a level of ownership that every member in every facet, whether you're vetted, anchored, helm that you can take on yourself. You are a part of this. You have some type of ownership. You have a responsibility of what this adventure society is portrayed at in the general public. I very rarely wear a vest. Most of the time, and I don't have it on me today, which is going to sound fucking stupid, I will most likely have an order coin in my pocket. Thankfully, one of the presents that you gave me today, which is the pin, I'll most likely wear that on me every day. It's my responsibility to portray what we are. You have to take that on yourself. You know, if there's members out there that think, you know, it's not my responsibility to see where this goes. Bullshit. That is 100% your responsibility. Whether you are someone who has it, we call it, especially me and Flash, we call it a burst. Whether you have that and sits on a shelf or sits in a folder or whatever, or whether you wear order gear all day long, it is your responsibility to show people what it's like to be a modern day pirate. Absolutely your responsibility. So whether you take that as something serious or you don't, you know, in Australia we only have 5 members. We have the minimum amount to make a crew, and we are nowhere in a local situation to each other. You know, the first order member in Australia is over the other side of the fucking country. All of us see it as that. It is our responsibility.
Yeah, the order is the ties the bonds, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, you when you're part of something bigger than yourself, at least it's what I get out of it. You feel a desire to hold yourself more accountable. Is the best way I can put it. You know, I get these awesome, just little tidbit messages from order members all the time. I just got one from Tiffany. She said, you know, she's got her nursing assistance degree. She's going to continue on to be an RN, and she's like, I never would have been able to do this. Never would have even thought I had the ability to do this if it wasn't for the order. And I'm like, fuck, you know, goddamn, yeah, you know, I'm like, that's what we wanted, and that's what we're getting, and that's amazing, you know. I mean, we got to keep this on a positive note and keep it going. Thank you, brother, for sharing. You know, not everybody wants to do this, and not everybody's willing to do this. It's scary, you know, to put yourself out there for a lot of people. You know, I'm a big fuck off, so I'll do it. You know, but especially someone like you who works in a lack of a better term, than a dangerous profession. You know, it's hard to make yourself public. You know, you want to be kind of reclusive and not have people know who you are or what you do, right? I mean, because that's counterintuitive to the business. Right?
Yeah. Well, look, man, it's one of those things, and thank you for the opportunity, especially sitting down. I'm really glad you missed your flight. You missed it. Had nothing to do with the rest of us.
I mean, I wanted to do this with Mecca too, you know. And
fuck that guy.
It's all right.
Fuck that guy.
Hey, eventually, I'll have to make another trip. Whatever. Or his ass can come to San Diego.
Look, it'll be a lot of Macca talking about himself. You know? God bless that guy, but you know, it's you know, again,
he's got a pretty cool car.
It's one of those things. You know, as I said before, it gives me something to identify. That, you know, first and foremost, always, I'm a dad. That is my first and foremost responsibility out of everything. Second is I'm a pirate. It's my responsibility. It's an amazing thing. Third and foremost, you know, I'm an agent. I do other things. I've got responsibilities. But you know, having the opportunity to sit down with you, more than a fucking conversation on a keyboard, it's an amazing thing.
And that's the reason why I don't do these via the internet. I could easily get on Skype and talk to every order member and videotape it.
And it takes so much away from it.
This is what matters to me. This, you know.
We're gonna do the circle jerk?
No.
Yeah, keep drinking, motherfucker. We'll see.
Cheers, brother. Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Till the next one, from down under.
Fuck off.
Our one and only Adam Lawrie.
Oh shit.
Peace, y'all. MDP for life, fuckers. Oh, these guys are adapting this one now too, right? The fucking fuck you hook. Peace, y'all.
Perfect. That's great.